Well, hello, everyone. Today is July the 17th, 2024. This is Wes Fryer in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I would like to share a tutorial with you about how to share mobile recorded audio on YouTube. And this is what some people would call an app smash. We're going to bring together several different applications and things. I am creating this in part because this Saturday at the Mint Hill Historical Society, I'll be doing the second part of a two-part workshop on family oral history and community oral history. And one of the things we're talking about is using mobile recorders like this. And then the first part of the workshop was how to record. And so this next part is how to share. And so what I did today, actually this morning, was I shared a presentation here locally at our Rotary Club in Monroe, North Carolina. And I shared a little about 30-minute presentation called Stories About AI. And so what you need to do in order to do this app smash, in order to share this, and I'll talk about here in a minute why you might want to record this. My preferred way is to record on my phone, but we don't always do that, and I want to do these steps. So you're needing to have your portable, in this case, battery-operated digital recorder. You also need to be able to find the cable that can connect your digital recorder to your computer. And in this case, this is I guess an older style micro USB cable. And so I think I've got the right kind of cable. All right, this is how this gets complicated. And then my laptop is actually a newer MacBook laptop. And so I have to have an adapter because I can't plug this USB-A, old, traditional, this is what we're used to with USB plugs in computers. I can't plug this into my computer. And so I have an adapter here that has the USB, and this will plug into my computer. This is where this kind of gets a little bit complicated. So I've got to have this. Then the other things that I need are some software. And oh shoot, and I just realized I'm gonna have to switch my camera here in a second, because I'm gonna actually use my iPhone, and right now I'm using my iPhone as my camera to show this. So anyway, I'll switch that in a minute. But I'm going to need to edit this file because I pushed the record button on this recorder before I started. And as a result, I've got some audio there that I don't want. So I'm going to open it up in a program called Audacity. It's free, but you have to download that to your computer in order to use it. And then once I get that polished, I'm actually going to use a program called Auphonic. Maybe I won't do that this time. I'll do a separate one about that if I wanted to, and because of time, it'll be better not to in this recording. You can use a program called Auphonic, and that is going to allow you to normalize. There's different ways to do this, but Auphonic is the software that I use to do that, and so you can normalize audio with that. But I'm going to take it into my iPhone, into a program called Voice Record Pro, and make it into a video. YouTube is a video sharing platform, and YouTube just in the last, 6 months or something, is embracing podcasts, but it's really, as far as I know, doing that through video. And so in order to get your audio onto YouTube, you have to make it into a video. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. So step number one, I have plugged in my audio recorder into my phone. And so what I'm going to try and do now, and I've got a bunch of things running, is I'm going to go here to my my computer, and I've opened up what's called the Finder. This is the file manager in Windows, and this is going to be a little bit different, of course, if you're running a Windows PC. But down here in the bottom right corner, if you can see, can I actually see that? Huh, interesting. I don't know that that's actually showing that like it should. Hopefully it is. I've got a little button that says IC Recorder, okay? And so I'm going to open up that recorder, and I'm going to be able to open up the flash drive and then open up the folder where I recorded this. Now, I don't know if I set my date correctly for this recording, and I'm not 100% positive what day. See, this is where it gets a little complicated. Okay, there's nothing in folder 2. You have multiple folders here, and you can select the folder. So it must be in folder 1 because there's nothing else that's there. And I don't think I set my time. So here's 3 things that are recorded here. And this is the, it says 2013, but I think it's probably today. I'm going to open this up to preview this and see if this is the file that I want. Oh, it's looking good so far. It's 36 minutes long. Man, and I need to see, I don't know. I'm going to check my settings really quick. I want to play back my audio. I don't know if it's going to do this if I play through, so this may not be as impressive. Anyway, okay. So here is the audio file. I'm going to push play. 3 to 5 years away from AGI. And this is it. This is the file that I want. Okay, so, and I know this is complicated. Part of my encouragement to folks is to, use the apps that you have on your phone instead of a digital recorder. But we have these, and I guess I said I would say that first. Why are you going to do all this? Well, these portable digital recorders can hold a lot. This one holds hundreds of hours. You can get them now that hold thousands of hours of audio, and they run this one on AAA batteries. It's reliable. I can put this around my neck, record. I don't have to worry about somebody calling me on the phone or sending me a text message. You can, put your device on airplane mode or do not disturb. But, people have these technologies. And so these steps this is going to apply to wherever you have a pre-recorded audio file. You'll be able to do these steps. Okay, so step 1, I have found the file. Step 2, I am going to go ahead and make a folder for this. And I'm just going to do this on the desktop. And I'm going to call this AI presentation audio, and this was 17 July. So being organized with your files is important. This particular file is on my laptop's, we call it a hard drive. It's probably a flash drive now, but I'm just going to drag it over. See, I have 2 windows open, and I'm dragging it from the mobile recorder, okay, which is right here plugged into my computer, and I just drug it over into this window. Okay, there's a couple ways to do this. You can right click and choose copy, and you can paste, or you can get it different ways. But the point is, I have this file, okay, which is an MP3 audio file now on my my hard drive. Okay, so I'm going to rename this, and one of the because it's just been given its automatic name. One of the things that I like to do with audio files is put a date on them. And so this was in 2024 in July 07, and I'll put 17, and I'm going to put AI stories. Okay, and I could put more information if I wanted to, but by putting that name on that file, I'm going to recognize it and know what it is. Okay, that's a technique. Now, I need to trim this audio. And so what I am going to do now is I've already downloaded this. And if you just Google the word Audacity, you can go to the website audacityteam.org. Audacity is free and open source software, and you can download the version for your computer. Okay. And so I have already done this. I have this installed on my computer. But you've got to download it and configure it in order to use it. So I'm going to go ahead. I tapped Command Space on my Mac, and I'm just gonna. It's a shortcut way to open stuff up quick. And here I am in Audacity. Okay, Audacity will let us do a variety of different things, and all I'm going to want to do here. In fact, I think you can even improve the sound levels and things like that. Because I wore this around my neck, the audio is going to be pretty good, and I'm not going to worry about normalizing it with that program that I showed you that's Auphonic. But if you've got a variation in the audio levels, or if your audio is including multiple people whose volume levels were different because they were different distances from the microphone, that kind of normalization can really help. And I'll create a separate video to show that. I'm going to go ahead and open the file, and I've got to find it. And so that's why it's nice to create a folder. On my desktop, here is that file. I'm going to go ahead and open it. And so now we're going to be able to see the audio waveforms of the presentation. So this is a 36-minute presentation, and all of these where I'm talking loud.
Continue to ask our kids.
That's me, okay? And so this is the introduction.
Together, like sort of what they would.
Because they said a few things before I started the recording. And so this part right here, is what I'm actually gonna delete. Now I'm gonna click on the magnifying glass to magnify in a little bit. And it's nice to be able to see these waveforms because I can click and, basically I think I start talking right here because I was wearing the microphone, and the other people's voices who were not wearing the microphone show up as lower audio levels. So if I
I'll kind of leave it at that. Are you real? I am in person, in the flesh.
I think I may go ahead and leave the introductions. Maybe
by next week.
No, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to zoom in even more so I can get real precise where I want to put it in here. So,
well, thank you. All right. Please go on. All right. Well, good morning, everyone.
Okay, so there it is. There's where I say good morning. There's where I started. That is basically at 3 minutes and maybe 14 seconds into the interview. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hold down my shift key. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I have clicked. Well, no, there's a couple ways I could do it. I could just highlight it. I think I will split the audio because then I can just delete it and be a little more precise and not have to be so fancy with my keys. So if I come in here, let's see, I think it's under edit. Maybe I'm looking for split tracks. Sometimes these things get moved around a little bit. So come on, Audacity, don't mess up with me. Okay, I want to split. Select tracks, view. There's got to be a simple way to split. There it is. Okay, it's moved under the audio clips menu. So it's under edit, audio clips, and here it is called split. You must first select some audio to perform this. Selecting other kinds of tracks won't work. Okay, interesting. And you didn't see that error because it came up on my other screen. Maybe I clicked off of that somehow. I thought I was in the exact right place. Since I'm doing this as a live video, I'm not going to be able to see. We said it was 3:14. I guess I did click off of it. Okay, this is where I want to be.
Well, good morning.
Okay, that's it. I'm going to click there. Okay, so now go up to edit. We're going to go to audio clips, split. Haha, and look at this. I have now split my clips into 2 parts. And if I back up out of this and see my whole audio file again, you can see the 2 parts. Here's the second part, which is the part I want, and then here's the first part. So all I have done is, like a knife, I have come in and I have found the exact place where I want to separate these clips. I have clicked on that spot. I went to edit, and again, they move these things around sometimes. It's under audio clips, and there it is under split. So what I can do now is I can select that, and I can press the delete key, and it's gone. Okay, that audio is now gone from the recording. And I'm going to move this up so that it is all the way to the front. And now when I push play,
well, good morning, everybody.
It starts right at the very beginning. Now, I actually noticed that I'm kind of peaking out, and it would be better to normalize this audio. And I don't know, I may end up doing this again and normalizing it, but I think it's okay.
Well, good morning, everybody. This is my first time to get to visit.
Seems to be loud enough, and it's fine. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come here to the end, and I don't think I'm going to include the Q&A. I think where I see the break in the volume levels here is probably where I opened it up for questions and answers. Maybe it's here. So let me.
And we don't want to accompany this as well, where I'm hearing you this. That might help. Yeah, and I mean, I know.
Okay, so that was a question.
No.
That was a question too.
Right thing. Is that what Oppenheimer did and what we did with, the bomb?
We had him write an essay for it.
You articulate.
Okay, these are, I had some other people enter. This is again where, this may be the applause. Okay, that's it. I'll go ahead and cut it off here. Okay, you know what? It will take a little bit of time and I'll have to come up with some filler things to say, but I am going to go ahead and normalize this with Audacity. And the reason is, as I look at this audio waveform, I can see that there are some parts of it that are very quiet. They're quieter, and I would like those to be the same. And it's also just so loud that it's going to sound better if I normalize it. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that as well. I have now edited this audio to start where I want it and to end where I want it. Basically, I just chopped off the front and I chopped off the back. That's it. And it starts at the 0 point. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go up to File, Export Audio, and I'm going to export it to the computer. And I'm going to need to browse to where I want it to go. I'm going to put it in that same folder that I have on the desktop. And I have to change the file type that I would like to have it. Now, this is again where things get complicated because there's all these different file types, right? What do I want to do? You really don't want to, if you can avoid it, compress your files more than once. This is a compressed MP3 file, but I'm going to end up, as I said, using this normalization process. So I could use a WAV or an AIFF file. Those are both pretty large, uncompressed formats. I'm going to choose FLAC, F-L-A-C. That's also uncompressed, but I don't think it's going to be quite as large as those other ones. And so I'm going to go ahead and select that. And then this is where I choose what I want. Now, this doesn't have to be stereo because it recorded with a single microphone. And then I have all of these different settings. I will just leave this at the default, which is a 44,100 hertz sample rate, a 16-bit depth, and a level 5. I don't even know what level 5 means. I'm going to click export. Okay, so what is happening now is Audacity is taking this edited file that I have made, and it has exported it and if I had wanted to make an MP3 file right there, I could have, but I'm going to want to normalize this so that the audio sounds as good as I can make it with the tools that I have access to. Before I leave Audacity, I'm going to go ahead and save my project. I will save it to my computer. I'm going to save it in that same folder. And that way, if I made a mistake or something, I can go back and I don't have to do this editing again. I've got the project set up, and you can have multiple tracks in here. I could introduce this audio if I wanted to. I'm not going to. I'm just going to straight up, publish it like this. But I could do other things. Okay, we're done with Audacity. Yay, that's wonderful. Okay, what are we ready for now? Well, if I didn't need to normalize the audio, I could go ahead and start with Voice Record Pro, but I do want to normalize the audio. So let me open up this program. It's called Auphonic. I have used this before. I think you get some free credits, but this is something that I have paid for in the past. And so what I want to do, these are interesting. I've got different presets. I wonder if I can just, I'll go ahead and select my file. They've changed the interface, of course, because everything is always updated. And I'm going to upload that FLAC file. I don't know how big that is, but we'll go ahead and let it. Okay, great. So you can set up, and I've done this in the past, presets that, and this is great for podcasting, will automatically put the title of your podcast in the meta information and put your show art in there and do these different fancy things. I'm not wanting to do that in this case. And so I'm going to use what's called the quick presets. And so I will use the voice cleaner, remove breathings. That's interesting. Adaptive leveler. Now that's what I want to do. I'm going to use the adaptive leveler, which is a preset that it already has. And it says it's going to balance the levels between speakers, music, and speech. So it's going to make that all even. I'll open this in Audacity when we're done. Well, I won't have to actually, so you can see it. this is the part where I'm going to have to come up with some things to talk about because I'm doing this as a live video, and this process takes a little while, both to upload and to actually have it processed. So maybe I don't know what we're going to do. Maybe we'll talk about some Story Chasers resources while this is going. Sure, I'll do that. So this file is going to upload, and then after it uploads, it will process. Now I have an hour and 50 minutes of credit. I could purchase more credit if I wanted to. This is a recording, was about 36 minutes, unedited, and I probably, took off about 6 minutes. So it's about a half hour. And so I'm going to be using credit. That's how Auphonic works. And there's other ways. There used to be a free tool that a website called the Conversations Network had, and it's called the Levelator, and it was free, and you could just take a file like I did here, drop it on it, and it did this. It leveled out the audio levels. So that's going to take a little while to upload, and then it's going to have to process. So while it does that, let me show you the resources for where this workshop is. And if you're interested, this is where I'm going to be publishing these resources. So this is now a passion project of mine. It's called Story Chasers. You can find it at storychasers.org. And if you go under workshops, this past Saturday, I've just offered, again, the first of a two-part series. And so this will change probably in terms of the place it is, because there'll be more workshops. But this is the 2024-07 for July 2024 workshops, which are for the Mint Hill Historical Society. And so this was our curriculum for the first part of the workshop. And I'm going to be flipping back here periodically to see our progress. So it's going to take a little bit longer. We have as the goal for this workshop to motivate people and equip them and empower them to record oral history for themselves or their community, their family. And so the goals were basically to focus on showing examples, motivating and inspiring, and then talking about tools for recording. And so we talked about several mobile apps for the smartphone, Android, and iPhone, and then also using a mobile recorder. The second part of the workshop, which is part of what I'm creating this for today, is going to be this Saturday, and that's going to be the show and share time. Hopefully some people did some recording, but we're going to talk about this process right here, what I'm doing in recording, in editing, what's called post-production, the video, and then publishing that video. Let's go back and check on our progress. So we're about 2/3 of the way uploaded. I don't know why. This is weird. These videos are showing up as unavailable. I don't know if that's a problem with my web browser, because if I click on my videos here, these videos are fine. So I'm just having some kind of an issue here with the website. But we did a little introduction. I showed a tape that my grandmother, my dad's mother, had recorded in 1972, and I got that converted. And part of the motivation here is to, number one, record audio with your family and with your community when you can. And number two, get it in a format where it's not going to be lost. And if we weren't fortunate to have a wonderful little business called Creative Video here in Mint Hill, North Carolina, they have the player that can play this reel-to-reel tape, and they were able to, for $21, give me a copy of this 26-minute tape. And my dad, who's 84, and my aunt, who's 96, were listening to this a few weeks ago at a family reunion that we attended. So I've got other examples of recordings, and the number one way that I'm recommending that people conduct these interviews is to use the app that StoryCorps provides, because it takes care of a lot of this. I don't think it normalizes it and does what I'm showing right here with Auphonic, but it does a lot of this sharing. So what's happened now with Auphonic, and you're getting to see this real time, is that entire exported file from Audacity, that FLAC file, has updated or uploaded to their server. And instead of software that is running on my computer, like the Audacity program, this software is actually running over the cloud. And so it's running through my web browser on the Auphonic website, wherever that computer is located in the world. And so it is encoding it, it is doing the leveling. And then when it's finished, it's going to show me the final waveforms. And so we'll be able to, kind of compare to what we saw before with Audacity to the normalized one. Hey, look at that. It's done. Yay. Look at that. Okay. So top and bottom comparison. The bottom is the unleveled, and I would call it normalized, but the unleveled audio. And you can see how some of these levels, and this was like during question time and things like that, got really, really low. It has evened them out, so it is a lot more even. And then it has made this into an MP3 file that's 32 minutes long, and I can click right here and download it. So that file now downloads to my computer. And again, this is compressed. It is compressed it as an MP3. So now I have a file that's going to be here in my downloads folder. Oh, nope. This is, again, file management. This is why Steve Jobs chose, when he made the iPhone and iOS, to not have a file manager at all, because it's complicated. Here's the downloaded version, okay? And it has the same name as the first one, and I'm gonna just name that first one raw, okay? Because I need a different file name. Here is my final file, okay? And here on the Mac, I can actually give it a color. I'm gonna give it it doesn't show there, but yeah, it does. There it does. It shows green. Okay, so I've got my green file here showing. That is the file that I want to put on YouTube. It's the normalized file, okay? And if we were to open that up in Audacity, shoot, I'll do that too, just for grins. This is not a fast video, as you can see, but hopefully this is helpful to you, because this is a time-consuming process, and the fact that you can pause and go back and repeat or whatever you need to do. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's look at the raw one first. Here is my raw MP3 file. And that's even the edited one. Did I send the wrong file? I sure hope I didn't. Okay, this is the new one. Or if I screwed this up, I'm not going to be happy with myself. Hopefully this is just going to start with my talk.
Well, good morning, everybody.
Yes, I did it right. Okay. All right. So, gosh, how did that get the different name? Oh, I guess it did. Okay, here it is. This is the FLAC file. Look, you even get confused when you're doing this a lot. Okay, here is the original file. I could import this. I'm not going to do anything with this, but I could import a new track. So I'm going to import a track. This will do this twice. So I'm not going to play it. But here's my final file, and you're just going to be able to see them side by side. Okay, so look at that. So again, there's the top one, which is the raw one. I don't know if you can notice this, but it's leveled out. It doesn't peak out to the top, and it's boosted these areas where there was a lower level. We see that as well on the Auphonic website. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to actually have to switch my camera because I'm going to have to use my iPhone for this. And so I'm going to change my camera to my FaceTime camera here. And yeah, it's not nearly as fun as having the background that we did. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to connect my iPhone to my computer, and I'm going to show you the process of what I want to do here. So here's my phone. I'm going to open up this app called Voice Record Pro, and this is actually one of my favorite apps. It's free for doing recording on the iPhone. And what I want to do, since I didn't record here, is I want to get this file from my computer here onto my phone into Voice Record Pro. Okay. So now we've got to transfer a file. Oops, how are we going to do that, Wes? Well, we're going to use AirDrop, okay? So I have my Wi-Fi turned on, I have my Bluetooth turned on, and I'm here on my Mac doing AirDrop. And I could email this to myself. I could put it on Google Drive. There's other ways that I could get it from my computer onto my phone using a Mac as I am. The fastest way to do this is to really just AirDrop it. Okay, so here's my phone. I'm going to drag this final file and I'm going to drop it over here on my iPhone. And then I probably am going, yep, there it is on file. So let me show you what this looks like. Okay, so it has just transferred it here into my files, and there it is. Okay, this is inside my files program, which is something that Apple added a number of years ago. And so this file is here. I could push play, and we could listen to it. But what I want to do is I want to send this into Voice Record Pro. So in the bottom left corner of this phone screen, there is a square, and it says that this is the share square, the box with a square, and it says, what do you want to do? And I'm going to hopefully find Voice Record Pro. Yep, and there it is. And I say send it, and look at that. It says import file. File 2024-07-17 AI Stories has been imported into the library. Ta-da, July 17th. So here it is. And if I push play, I start to hear it. And it's my edited file. Yay, and that's wonderful. Okay, so I am almost finished. I have a couple more steps. I am going to tap on the camera icon and choose to put a picture with this. And so that's not the picture that I actually want. Did I get my picture? Yeah. This is my slide for my little beginning of the slideshow, stories about AI. And I haven't been able to figure out how to get this to not be square. So anyway, if you know how to do that in Voice Record Pro, let me know. So I can put that picture in. And then Voice Record Pro gives me this choice to save in a photo album. And this is the power. This is interesting because I can change the aspect ratio here, but it doesn't let me go back and change the picture. Anyway, I'll just leave it like that. You can choose these different templates that'll have dates and times and things like that. I'm just going to do the last one, which is a picture. But what this does is it saves my actual audio file, not as audio, which is what we just had here inside the Files Manager. Okay, that's an MP3 file. But if I go into my photos and I look at my recent photos, oh, it's not there. Did I cancel it? Let me try it again. Okay, save in photo album. Maybe I just didn't continue. Oh, what happened? That's weird. Okay. I wonder if this is something to do with my sharing I've got here. Okay, let's try this again. Voice Record Pro. Okay, maybe it's something about, wow, it's just, I haven't had this happen before. I guess this particular program, Voice Record Pro, well, that's kind of a bummer. Yuck. Doesn't like how I'm trying to share. Man, all this complicated technology. Let me try one other thing and see if this is going to work. Man, cross fingers. I have a little program called Air Server that I run on my computer. And let's see if I can do this. I haven't done this in a while, actually having to share. Okay, so there's, I don't know if that's going to be Air Server or not. I don't think this is right. It's going to work? I think it's working now. Okay, so here we are in Voice Record Pro. I don't know why that stopped working. Save in photo album. fact, let me go back. I don't know if the picture part worked. You have to tap up here and choose the picture, and you can put the picture that you want here, into the app. Now, when I choose to save in photo album, okay, I'll click continue. And it says there's an error, and it says there's a warning. I don't know what that is. You know what I'm thinking I'm going to do? Well, I'm just going to try to do this when I'm not mirrored and see if this works. And if that doesn't work, I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, that was it. That was the problem. Okay, so when this was mirrored to the phone, it was giving an error and not processing it correctly. I've never had a problem with this, but I've also not tried to show it live like this when I'm connected to the computer. So it takes a while, right? And what it is doing is taking that entire 32-minute audio file, it is making it into a video, but it has a single picture on it. It has the picture of, my opening slide, the one that I chose from my photos. And depending upon how long it is and how fast your phone is going to determine how much time this takes. 94%, 95%. Okay, great. It says it's done now. Let me see if I can share my screen with you now. That's been successful. Okay, there you go. Recording has been successfully saved to photo album. Praise God. So now when I open up my photos, look at that. I have a new thing here at the bottom, which is actually a video, and that is the recording of my presentation today. All right. Now, I could go ahead and directly publish this to YouTube from my phone. And that might be simpler because it doesn't require a transfer, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it on the computer. And so I'm going to go ahead and airdrop this back to my computer. Okay, so I'm going to send this back to my computer. It's going to go into the downloads folder. All right, sending. It's a little bit larger file. Takes a minute. All right, and now it says sending. And it should say sent here in a second. And that's going to be done. I think it's done, but I'm going to go ahead and disconnect here from my phone. Okay. All right. Let's check. It says failed. Jeez. I wonder if it was because we were mirroring. Maybe I'll have to do it from the phone. Let's try one more time. All right. We're going to send it. AirDrop is an excellent thing. Yay, it worked. Okay. AirDrop is an excellent thing to know how to do. It's so handy to be able to send files back and forth between devices. What I'm expecting now when I open up my file manager is I'm expecting to be able to go to my downloads folder, and in my most recent downloads, look at this. Oh, it did. It came over twice. It didn't fail. I've got this video file. It's an MP4 file. And when I open it up, take a look at this. I can push play, and this is a video. And this is what I've been trying to create. Okay. So this file right here that I'm about to put onto YouTube is from my digital recorder, edited in Audacity, normalized with Auphonic, and now finally it has been made into a video using Voice Record Pro. Now let me just say, if you know a better way to do this, and I can switch back to my camera now because I'm done with my phone. If you know a better way to do this, I would love to know what that is. Let me switch over to I'm using this fancy program called XSplit Bcam. I'm going to switch around. There we go. Okay. We're back in Blowing Rock, North Carolina with my virtual background. If you know a simpler way to do this, let me know. Okay. I'd love to know it. The good news about this is an almost free workflow. Okay. All right. Last step. Let's go to YouTube. So here I am on YouTube, and you're going to want to be logged into the channel and select the correct account. I have a bunch of different accounts. You're going to want to select the correct one, and obviously you have to create your channel, and I've customized mine and done all this stuff. I'm just now ready to click on the publish and upload video there in the corner, and I'm going to select the file that I want, which in this case is in the downloads folder, and I need to move it back. But here it is. It's AI Stories. It's a 64 megabyte MP4 video file. And now I can give this a title, Stories About AI, July 2024. And later I can go ahead and put a more full description about this. This is not made for kids. It's always good, of course, to have a description. I can put a thumbnail with this, and here's Stories About AI. And that one's going to show full screen. The video, once it starts to play, is going to be smaller. And then I can, put this in a recording. Do I have one about story chasers? Yeah, there you go, story chasing. Okay, so I can put it in a playlist. Okay, it's not made for kids. I don't need to do any age restriction stuff. Do I want ads on it? I can say yes or no. Sure. And you have to do things to your channel in order to have that. You've got to certify that you don't have, controversial issues, firearms content, violence, adult content, et cetera, et cetera. It's safe for ads. Yep, it's fine. So I submit it. And if I was adding music licenses or subtitles or any of this stuff, I don't have any of that. So I just click next. Now I end up having to wait for the checks. And I don't think I'm going to wait for this for the video, because you don't want to sit here and watch this wait. But it depends again on how big the video is, how busy YouTube is. What basically YouTube is doing right now, this is maybe part of the reason you have a few more choices, I think, when you do this on a laptop or a desktop computer than on the mobile phone or the smartphone. It's just making sure that I'm not using copyrighted materials. I don't have copyrighted music in here. And it's checking for other stuff. And so once this is processed, because it's going to verify copyright, then I can go ahead and change the visibility of this and make this public, and this can be on my website. Okay, so let me show you an example of what a finished one looks like, and then I'm going to stop the video and we're going to be done. We've gone about 42 minutes here. So here is my main YouTube channel, Wes Fryer. If you click on videos here, let's see, here it is. I was presenting at the Kennedy Space Center a few weeks ago on July 26th, and I presented about our Mars Minecraft presentation. And so this is actually an hour and 11 minutes long. And this was an audio file. And you can see that it just has that square image. And this is just audio, okay? This isn't a video. Maybe I should have shown this first as an example, but YouTube is free to use and publish to. It is very accessible. I mean, it can be blocked, and different videos can be blocked in schools and things like that. But in general, for just the general public and for, lots and lots of people, it depends on the country you're in and the filtering of your local school and all that kind of stuff. But in general, YouTube is highly accessible, and it also optimizes it for the version of the device that you're listening on and your speed and all that. And so that is what we're going for. That is what this video is going to look like. And it says it's going to take 10 more minutes to check for the copyrighted content. But I guess I can actually do this as an unlisted. So I'll do this. So in order to make it public, they've got to finish their checks. I guess I can just save it as private. And so anyway, I'll be able to come back here and make it public a little later. But it's good to see this, right? Because when you have a video on YouTube, those are the choices. Private is just for you or the people that you choose to share it with. Unlisted, if you don't want it to be publicly searchable, but you want to let whoever has the link get to it, that's the one to do. And then public is the best, I think, for a lot of things like oral history recordings, because then if you've put a good name on it, whoever Googles and searches for it, hopefully could be able to find it. It's going to be discoverable. And so that's what I'll do later. But I'm just gonna say private right now, click save, and it says we're still checking. Huh, interesting. I thought it would let me do it private. I'll just leave this window here, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish up. That was long. That was like 45 minutes worth of stuff, and you had to watch the file upload from my computer on my not uber fast, home internet connection here. I hope that this has been helpful to you. I really, really love oral history, and I love digital storytelling. And on the examples page, again, there's weird stuff going on with these videos, but I've got a lot of different examples of stories, audio stories, photo stories, quick edit videos, video stories, narrated sketch notes, published documentaries, all kinds of stuff. And Story Chasers is a free website that you can access. I'm hoping, I don't know if I'll be able to do this this week, but soon, to be setting up a learning community, a private learning community where people who are sharing oral histories, doing interviews, creating different kinds of digital stories will be able to connect. And Story Chasers is going to live on. It was a nonprofit for a number of years that I was a participant in with teachers back in Oklahoma. We moved away from Oklahoma City 2 years ago, and really before the pandemic, it had wound down and ceased to be a 501c3 nonprofit. And so anyway, it continues, and I would invite you to check it out. Check out our YouTube channel. If this has been helpful to you, if you got questions, please go ahead and comment. You can reach out to me. And if you want to get in contact with me directly, my name is Wes Fryer, and my website is wesfryer.com. And so you can visit my website. I have a connect link where you can, see different places where you can connect with me, follow my Substack newsletter, and reach out and connect. All right. So thanks and good luck in your story chasing and oral history and audio recording, sharing to video adventures. Good luck.